Nigeria has congratulated Team Nigeria for their outstanding feat at the 2015 World Summer Games in Los Angeles, United States. The delegation of 42 athletes and 18 officials led by Misa Erisanara are already in the country after a record-breaking performance at the global showpiece.
They may have been the most underestimated athletes in Nigeria, but their exploits at the 2015 Special Olympics World Summer Games have attracted praise. Here, athletes and officials of Team Nigeria at the Games were treated to a laudable reception by sponsors and partners of Special Olympics Nigeria, including your sports-loving channels television. Chairman of the Board of Trustees Victor Shibodu commended these glorious athletes for their effort.
In Special Olympics, all athletes and medals are celebrated, which is the reason for the Games. And to give a sense of belonging to everybody, we don't have to win, but we won. They said it's the perspective. We participated and we won. 71 gold medals for that matter. And like you said, that's the highest number of medals any team Nigeria said anywhere.
The parents and guardians of the athletes were not left out in the celebration, as they also shared their experience catering for children with special abilities.
There's nothing wrong with my brother, and there's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. Damola is the kindest, most affectionate, most honest, most helpful, most wonderful big brother anybody can ever ask for. And that is without him being an Olympic champion.
It was really depressing to me as a mother and a daughter, communication, everything. In fact, anywhere I go, I take Chidalu with me. She will be so bored and all that. But since she started with this Special Olympics something, and the changes are just there.
Team Nigeria posted a record-breaking performance at the Games with 71 medals, comprising 34 gold, 22 silver, 9 bronze, 3 ribbons, and 5 unified experiences.
The special ones making Nigeria proud there. And the Super Eagles of Nigeria moved 4 places up in the latest monthly world ranking released by the World Football Governing Body FIFA in Zurich. The team sits 10th in the continent and 53rd in the world. Algeria remains the best football playing nation on the continent, as the national team remain unchanged on the 19th spot in the world. African champions, the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire, are 2nd in Africa and 21st in the world. The Black Stars of Ghana, Tunisia and Senegal complete the continent's top 5. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Congo, Cape Verde Islands and Egypt also recorded improvements in their rankings to make up the top 10 teams in Africa. Meanwhile, there were no changes in the top 3 at the world rankings, except for Belgium swapping places with Germany behind leaders Argentina. Chile have entered the top 10 at the expense of the Netherlands. Colombia occupies the 4th spot. Brazil moved 1 spot to the 5th place. Portugal, Romania, England and Wales completes the top 10. Of the 29 international Grade A matches taken into account for this month's FIFA ranking, 26 were CONCACAF Gold Cup matches and the remaining 3 were friendlies. And some 200 protesters are not happy with what they call human rights abuses in preparation for the Games in 2016. One of the principal complaints focused on forced removals in Villa Autodromo community located near to the Olympic Park, from which over 800 families, 90% of the community's original population, have already left. Officials say the city has paid $27 million in compensation to relocate these families. And earlier this year, Rio Mayor Eduardo Paes signed a decree for the forcible relocation of those who resisted. Protesters are also accusing organizers of corruption involving at least 5 construction companies working on Olympic projects. And those are the major stories in the world of sports this hour. News at 10 continues in a moment.
On the foreign scene, relatives of those missing on Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 are angry at the conflicting reports they are receiving over whether part of the missing plane has been found. Here's Cynthia Are with more details.
Well, thank you. The Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak said experts in France had conclusively confirmed the wing part found on an island in the Indian Ocean was from the aircraft. But French investigators stopped short of confirming the link, only saying it was highly likely. Then Myanmar's president has called for people to leave low-lying areas in the flood-hit country as the Irrawaddy River threatens to breach embankments. The death toll from the floods and landslides caused by heavy monsoon rain has risen to 74 and affected more than 330,000 people. Also today, residents in the Japanese city of Hiroshima are commemorating the 70th anniversary of the first atomic bomb being dropped by a U.S. aircraft. A ceremony attended by the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was held at Hiroshima's Memorial Park before thousands of lanterns were released to the city's Motoyasu River. Finally, since last night, we've heard reports that armed men wearing security forces uniforms are behind the recent attacks we've seen in recent days in Burundi. Police are now investigating the identities of those men. That's the foreign news wrap-up. It's back to you, Bimbo.
Thank you, Cynthia. And the main news again. About 12,000 Nigerians have begun returning home from Cameroon as calm gradually returns to the northeast. According to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, about 1,000 people will arrive tomorrow. The outgoing Chief of Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal Adeshola Amosun, said today that the military will meet the December deadline for the defeat of Boko Haram. And that brings us to the end of the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Do join us again tomorrow. I'm Bimbo Oloyede. Good night.